The only reason people go to hell is because they choose to live their life separate from God. And because God respects our free will, he's not going to haul us into heaven against our will. Why do we not want to go to heaven? Because that's where God is. And some of us do not want to live together with God. And God says, guess what? I respect your free will, so you're not going to spend eternity with me in heaven. You'll spend eternity separate from me. He defines that as hell.
Hey Cliff, I have a question. Really? Really? I respect your free will? That's the angle you're going with here? I tell you, it really bothers me when people like you are just so cavalier with the old, but God is a gentleman excuse. Sorry, but hell is not defined as the absence of God's presence in the same way that darkness is the absence of light. No, the Bible defines hell as a place God chose to create, and one day hell will get tossed into a lake of fire, along with Satan, the beast, the false prophet, and everyone not found in the book of life. And they shall all be tormented day and night, forever and ever and ever. Cliff, when a husband or wife doesn't want to live with their spouse, they get a divorce, move out of the house, and go on with their lives. When God files for separation, he throws people into a burning lake to be eternally tormented. Big difference, don't you think? Since we've just established that hell is not merely the absence of God, and if he doesn't drag us anywhere against our will, then can I just choose not to go to hell? I mean, seriously, I may not believe in God, but if hell does exist, I really don't want to go there. Will God respect that? I'm guessing no. You claim we don't want to live with God, but although the late great Christopher Hitchens compared heaven to a celestial North Korea, he could not tolerate more than 17 seconds of being waterboarded. And if I had been in his place, I'm sure I would have given up a lot sooner. So I think it's safe to say that although we don't see eye to eye with God, reasonable people would prefer a heavenly North Korea over being tormented day and night forever. Besides, if heaven does exist, most of my family and friends will probably end up there. So even if I have a problem with God, I certainly would want to be where my family is. After all, you don't skip your family reunion just because of one really annoying relative, right? Unless, of course, that relative is Richard Simmons, then in that case, you get a free pass. Look, this whole free will nonsense breaks down under its own weight. Philippians 2 says that every knee will bow and every tongue will confess that Jesus is Lord. So it seems to me that there are only two options here. Option A, on the day of judgment, either everyone is forced to bow and acknowledge Jesus is Lord, General Zod style, but that would violate your whole God's a gentleman argument. Or option B, on the day of judgment, the scales will magically fall off our eyes and we will see God as he truly is. People like Hitchens, Gandhi, Genghis Khan, they'll all suddenly realize, golly, Jesus is God, and he really is awesome, and now that we see him face to face, we know he is worthy of honor and praise. Yeah, unfortunately, that sudden change of heart won't mean a damn thing to God, since the people not written in the book of life will be cast into the lake of fire regardless, which makes all of that bowing and confessing kind of pointless, really. So either way, no free will. Cliff, the bottom line is, God had no problem violating humanity's free will in the Bible when it suited his interests. He drowned the entire world in a flood, he took land from a bunch of tribes and gave it to another tribe, he raises and topples kings at a whim, he makes us into vessels of mercy or vessels of wrath. And if you question the fairness of this system, well, tough. There's not a thing you can do about it. It's like we're a part of God's giant Play-Doh set, but he blames us for making us into star-shaped logs or purple spaghetti noodles, even though he's the one with his hand on the lever. So I think it's pretty clear. God is oh so protective of free will when it comes to keeping people out of heaven. Come on, Cliff, couldn't he be merciful and give unbelievers the option to go to, I don't know, a celestial South Korea? You know, just with a lot less sigh. No, I don't mean that sigh, I mean this one.